videos of Batch. And I was like,
yeah.
What? I got a full-on network primetime television show, and y'all talking about Vine.
And I'm going to tell you the exact reversal. Let me tell you how stupid I was at the time. 2014, I'm featuring for Afion Crockett on the road. We in Foot Locker. We in Foot Locker. Some dudes come up. Oh, man, they came up to me. Oh, snap, Afion. Then they was like, oh, snap, you on Vine. They was talking to me now. Oh, shit, we know you from Vine. And I was like, man, I done been in goddamn 21 streets. I done been on MTV. I don't want to be known for a fucking Vine star. And I fucking stopped doing Vine. I was like, fuck out of here. I didn't work this goddamn hard to be known for Vine. Instead of realizing comedy evolves, these platforms evolves. It's just another way to promote yourself. It's another way to get out an artistic expression. And I should have kept going on Vine, and I had the complete opposite thinking.
Absolutely. And because you know what it turned into? It turned into the later our show would go on, and we were still like the top show. But as Vine got more and more popular, they would ask me to ask Batch if he could make New Girl videos. And Batch was so cool with it. He was like, all right, cool. He would come to set and just make some videos.
Oh, that's dope.
Show. You know what I'm saying? But like now you gonna have to pay that dude 6 figures to show up.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start at 6 figures before you want him like.
Yeah, he became a real life millionaire off of Vine.
Exactly. So, you know, to me, it was one of those like, man, just pay attention. If something new pops up, if it's fun, if you enjoy doing it, do it, man. Because that Vine life was a fun time. Always meeting up at spots and just making weird videos and like as your job. Like you felt like you didn't waste your day.
Straight up.
Yeah.
This what I'm talking about, that in different artistic expressions. You put out a mixtape or album, the Lamorne After Pill. And first of all, great name. Now, when I listen to it, first of all, you got some amazing features on it. I mean, your opening song has Common on it. And when I first heard it, I was like, he took like an old audio clip of Common. That's what I'm thinking going into it. And then I was like, no. Common is spitting a verse. He's going back and forth with Lamorne. Like, no, he really did this for this project.
Yeah.
Then, and we're gonna talk about the project, because then you also had, and when it first came on, I was like, oh, this is kind of like Andy Samberg, like Lonely Island. I was like, he could be like a Black Lonely Island type vibe. And then you had Andy Samberg on the project. And I'm like, this is a real deal project that he put together. It's funny as hell. What made you want to do it? How did you get Common and Andy on the project? Just go into all of that.
Man, dog. So I would just goof around, like growing up, freestyling, joking. Like I never took it seriously. I still don't. It's just a fun thing. I'm not a rapper at all. Like it's just a fun bit that I like to do.
You got bars though. You got bars.
I mean, you know, like a little bit. But I remember Jukebox. You know, Juke. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell a story about Jukebox. You actually are the reason you got my music career started. Straight up.
I remember you hit me up about it, and then I, suggested Juke.
Yeah, you did.
Like, that dude is he's funny. What people don't understand is that Juke is a straight up comic.
Yep.
Like that dude is hilarious. And so we were boys ever since I moved to LA through mutual friends. I think I want to say Brandon T. Jackson or somebody like that introduced us. So we in the studio messing around like a while ago. He was working on something with somebody else. And then we were just joking around the studio, and he was like, oh, record that real quick. So I got in the booth, my first time ever doing something like that, getting in a booth and recording music, and didn't know what the hell I was doing. Song came out stupid. And so, but we kept it internal and just laughed at how dumb this thing was. Over the years, I was always like, man, I want to do another song. So I parodied Trinidad James.
Classic.
Man.
That spoof is classic. Anybody that haven't seen it, look up Lamorne Moore's Trinidad James. What, Gold in My Mouth spoof?
Yeah, it was called No Gold Anything.
Whew. That's a heater. That was a heater video.
Man, so I remember doing that and going like, damn, that was actually kind of fun. Like I wonder if I could do a real song that's not parodying anybody. So I went back to Jukebox, and we just went in the studio and never left. And at the same time, I remember shooting Barbershop. So I had like 4 songs recorded. I had the song with Andy Samberg, but he wasn't on it yet. I had like this one song about a rapper who got his strange knock at his door, but he's so absorbed that he never get to the door because he keep looking at and admiring all his shit. Like it's like this horror, like what is it? Like I got this, I got that. Anyway. So I was trying a bunch of new stuff. I remember being on set at Barbershop. Common loves freestyling, and we would have these little circles. It'd be Common, Utkarsh, who's a dope freestyler. Utkarsh on Butkar. If you don't know, you saw the last Oscars, he was freestyling at the Oscars. He's like brilliant. And so I remember we were always joking around and freestyle back and forth. And Common was like, "Hey man, you fucking around, but you could kind of spit a little bit, like, hey." So I was like, "Damn, I appreciate that coming from one of the GOATs."
Yeah, absolutely.
And so then I was like, actually, funny you say that. I'm working on a comedy album. I could send you a couple songs. I just need your opinion on it. That's all I want. I sent him some songs. He listened to it on the plane, leaving Atlanta when we were leaving filming Barbershop. He lands and hits me back right away and was like, "Yo, G, man, I fuck with this. This is funny, man." He's like, "You actually spit though." He was like, "I'm kind of bugging because you actually." He's like, I'm thinking I'm about to hear some just laugh out loud jokes. No, you got bars. He was like, "Yo, what's that?" So I was like, "Oh, thank you." He was like, "Yo, let me jump on it." So I was like, "Woo, what?" Came in the studio. I was so nervous that I didn't have anything prepped. I had a million ideas for what we could do, but I didn't know he's a real artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to working by myself. I'm like, he's a real damn legend.
Right.
So we want to put all these concepts and these ideas, and I was like, what is Common known for? And funny how it works. We just had Common in the studio just spit bars, and I was going to make it work around him and just say stuff. So we had a list of things we needed him to say. And then after he left the studio, I then went over it and just negated everything he said.
Oh, okay.
And was like, Common's, Common's known for being a lovely individual, respectful. Like you can bring her home to mom. Like if you're, you know what I'm saying? He one of those dudes.
Right.
I had to shit on all of it.
Right.
And, Common hates Oprah.
Right.
Like Common's not really from Chicago. Common, he kidnapped those 200 Nigerian girls.
Right.
I was like, yo, I got to fuck with him somehow. And he heard the song and was like, yo, you got to put this out. Well, people don't know is that we recorded that song 5 years ago.
That's crazy.
Like most of my album was recorded so long ago. And this goes back to what we're talking about with stand-up. I didn't know if I should put it out. I was like, people laughing at it. I play it, people fuck with it, but I didn't know if I should put it out. I was like,
now this is what I was thinking. Were you concerned about putting it out because of the content? Were you afraid that the cancel culture might not see it as jokes and be like, no, you can't say that?
100%. I mean, if you listen to this album, I say some raunchy, disgusting things.
In a joking manner, everyone.
Yeah, but it's character based because what people don't understand, the reason I put this album out, not only because it was fun to do and just mess around in the studio, but a lot of it is the idea. It's almost like this, and I'll say this and then I'll backtrack a little bit. They want a nigga, so I'm gonna give them one. They want a nigga, I'm gonna give them a nigga.
Right.
This idea, I used to get called white boy all the time. Like, oh, you speak like a white boy. Nicki Minaj said that to me one time. I love her.
Did she?
Yeah, she was like, you sound like a white boy when you talk. And
that was just her way of flirting with you, though.
Yeah, she used to always try to get at me.
Yeah.
You know?